Okay, so now we are trying to understand the flame spray pyrolysis technique. Okay, so as the name suggests, okay, you can see there are three words. One is flame, second is spray, and third is pyrolysis. Okay, so basically, you as you can imagine that your uh, precursor, initial precursor, should be sprayed, right? It should have some nozzle kind of thing. Okay, the system should have a nozzle kind of thing, and then with an pressurized gas, okay, what you can do is you can make a spray of that um, liquid precursor. Okay, and then you once it got spray, okay, then what happens is that you have the droplets, small droplets, in the form of droplets, they get sprinkled out. Okay, and then this kind of an spray pyrolysis is commonly used in the most of the laboratories, where you can see that from the top side there is a spray of these liquid precursor in the form of droplets, and your substrate is kept at a very high temperature, and while these droplets are approaching near to the surface of the substrate, they get converted into gaseous form, because the liquid is get converted into gas, and your precursor get deposited on the surface of the substrate. So this is a common spray pyrolysis technique. Okay, and now you can imagine we are talking about flame spray pyrolysis. So basically we are spraying these droplets in the flame. Okay, so you all are aware about this flame. You have seen such kind of flame. Okay, our normal flame you can see in Deepavali, where you have a lot of candles. Okay, so that candle flame is there. Okay, so that flame is there. Okay, but here now you have some special purpose flame. Okay, where you have flammable gas with high pressure you are inserting, so that you have a jet flame in the form of a jet. Okay, and if you spray your precursor in liquid state in that flame, then definitely because of the high temperature of the flame, there is a nucleation and growth of these nanoparticles take place, and what the final product is in the form of nanoparticles. Okay, so this is a generalized description about this flame spray pyrolysis. Let us try to understand step by step. So pyrolysis is a popular method for creating nanoparticles, especially oxides, because this mm, this process has to be carried out in the air. Okay, in the air. Most of the metal oxides can be prepared with this technique, because metal oxides are the most stable form of materials for the environmental in the environmental atmosphere. Okay, so this is the reason that the pyrolysis is popular method for creating the nanoparticles, particularly the metal oxides. A precursor, as I said, is in the form of liquid or gas. Okay, is forced through a nozzle at high pressure and burned. Okay, so this is the steps. Precursor, which is in the form of liquid or gas, is forced through a nozzle. Okay, once it comes out of nozzle, then what happens? There is a flame, so it get burned. Okay, the resulting ash is collected to recover the nanoparticles. So whatever you get which is coming out of flame, we it's a terminology is used as a ash. Okay, so that ash is nothing but the nanoparticles. The large volume of gas leads to high rate of material synthesis. So if you want a high amount of final product, then you have to increase the initial precursor so that you get a large quantity of the material. Okay, you can see the schematic representation of flame spray pyrolysis is shown in this slide, and it is taken from one reference journal, which is called as Journal of Aerosol Society. Okay, and this work is this paper is published in the year 2002. The volume of the paper is 33 and the page number is 369 to 389. So you can refer this paper where they have described about this flame spray pyrolysis technique. So in flame spray pyrolysis, an aqueous metal salt solution is sprayed as a fine mist, okay, through a capillary and into a flame. So you can see in the schematic representation there is a capillary is there where you can insert the precursor solution, and with a pressurized gas, basically you can with the help of a nozzle, what you can do is you can just sprinkle the precursor solution in the form of droplets. Okay, and these droplets basically are inserted into a flame. Okay, so then small droplets are formed while the solvent burns inside the flame. Okay, so what you can see is there is in the initial condition where as soon as the droplets are formed, they just carry out some distance, and during that, because of high temperature of the flame, the liquid part, okay, of that precursor is get evaporated. Okay, and then what you have is your precursors in the form of vapors. Okay, and these vapors, they come together in the because of this high temperature, and there only there is a formation of nucleation. Once the nuclei, sometimes if the depending upon the length of the flame or the temperature of the flame, okay, what happens is that there is a some of the particles are formed, they get aggregated once they come out of the flame, and then finally they get assembled on the surface of the substrate. The conversion of the salt into metal oxide occurs upon the pyrolysis reaction. Okay, so what type of reaction is going on? Pyrolysis reaction. That's why we call this as a flame spray pyrolysis. Okay, because the pyrolysis reaction is going on, and for the formation of metal oxides, and the metal oxide atoms aggregate into nanoparticles, which are then collected on a substrate. Okay, so this is the process which has been take place in the flame spray pyrolysis. This is the working principle behind this flame spray pyrolysis method. Okay, so you understand how the nanoparticles from precursor to nanoparticle formation has been take place through this flame. Now you can see that there is an agglomeration is also take place. Okay, now as I said that now this is an interesting paper, okay, an old paper, okay, where you can see that it is this work is basically published in the Combustion Flame is the name of journal, and they have published in 2001. The volume is 124 and the page number is 560. Okay, so these images has been taken from this reference. What they have done is basically they have tried to understand what kind of growth is take place during this flame spray pyrolysis. So basically they have make a different compartment where there is different regions of the flame has been divided. Okay, so you can see that initially they have in this paper basically they are talking about the TiO2 nanoparticles. So you can see that when the TiO2 precursor is the precursor for the synthesis of TiO2 is basically sprayed in the jet or in the flame, then what happens? There is a formation of TiO2 monomers in the initial stage of this flame. Then there is a transient hard agglomerate. Then there is a spherical particles are formed, and once they are going out of this flame, there is a region where it is called as hard agglomerates, and once they are coming entirely away from this flame, then there is a soft agglomerates. Okay, so the hard agglomerates means they strongly agglomerate to each other. Okay, it is very difficult to separate these particles by some mechanical force. But here soft agglomerates means they have, because they have come out of the flame, okay, so they do not get enough temperature, so they just stuck to each other, they softly agglomerate to each other. So if you do a sonication process, ultrasonication process, by giving a vibrational energy, they will get separated out. So all these process steps has been carried out, and they have studied how the nanoparticle looks like if we quench them in the particular stages. And then they realize that you can see the below is the image, TM image is represented, where you can see that initially there are monomers, very small particles are there, and then they start to grow, okay, in the spherical particles, then they agglomerate, hardly agglomerate, and then they softly agglomerate. Okay, so this is the how there is a formation of TiO2 nanoparticles from TiO2 Ti precursor. Okay, and this is so whatever the particles they are remaining, okay, they are remaining in the flame. Okay, so from the just from the time where they just entered in the flame to the time where they just come out of the flame, so it is called as an residential time, because this is the time where they are present inside the flame. Okay, so what are the advantages and disadvantages of this method? So pyrolysis is a very high yield method, so you get a lot of product, okay, and that can fulfill the strong demand for nanoparticles. So if your requirement is 1 kg, 10 kg, okay, in that kind of range, then this spray pyrolysis will help you immediately. Use of low cost metal precursor. Okay, so you can use low cost metal precursors. Okay, materials are mixed in solution. So first what you have to do is you have to precursors you have to dissolve in the solution, hence they are homogeneously mixed in the atomic level at the start. So suppose you want to make a material which is like for example zinc iron oxide, Zn Fe2O4. Okay, so zinc should be 1 molar, iron should be 2 molar. Okay, so 1:2 you have to take the initial precursors, then you have to dissolve it, because we are dissolving it in the solvent. Okay, so already at atomic level, okay, they have homogeneously mixed. Okay, and once you use this flame spray pyrolysis, then what you are getting, the final product is Zn Fe2O4. Okay, because it is get oxidized, and this is a very stable material which is called as a spinel ferrite. So Zn Fe2O4, if you want to prepare, then you will get homogeneous Zn Fe2O4 composition in all the nanoparticles. Okay, it is not like there is a formation of zinc oxide and there is a formation of iron oxide. So that you have to optimize by controlling parameter, but because the iron and zinc, the precursors, they are dissolved in the liquid, so they have homogeneous mixture at atomic level. So this is a big advantage of this technique. Only sub-sintering temperatures are necessary to form crystallized particles. So most of the times like zinc oxide, TiO2, what you are getting is in the crystalline form. Okay, but for some of the materials, if they need high temperature, then after getting the powder, you have to go for one more sintering step. So can be customized to produce unique nanoparticles. Okay, so you can customize for to produce unique nanoparticles. Okay, so these are the advantages. What are the disadvantages? Broad distribution of particle size. Okay, broad distribution means when you are making the nanoparticles, you have the nanoparticles with different size ranges. Okay, you have 20 nanometer nanoparticles, you have 40 nanometer, 50, you have 100 nanometer particles. Okay, so this is a mixture of mixture of particles which have different sizes. Okay, so this is a disadvantage if you are, particularly if you are interested in mono sized particles, then this method is not good. Second is inhomogeneous morphology and shape. Okay, because there is a gradient, okay, in the flame. Okay, so it is very difficult, okay, to control the shape and size. Okay, second thing is because this residential time is very low. Okay, so it is not getting enough time for the particles to get identical size or identical shape. Okay, so because of this inhomogeneity um, in the zone of the flame. Okay, in the zone of the flame, there is a inhomogeneity of the concentration of the precursor, or there is a temperature gradient in the temperature gradient is there in the precursor. Okay, so all these and the residential time is low. So all these parameters is basically not allowing you to grow it in an identical way. Okay, so this is because of that you may have the final product with a different morphology or shape. Okay, so this is all about the flame spray pyrolysis. So I will stop here. Thank you so much.